Hey everybody, let's do a role reboot. How many roles do you play in your life and your leadership? There's the actual title that you have professionally. There's the roles that you play in your family, mother, daughter, father, son, cousin, brother, what have you, right? There's roles that you play in your community. You may be head of a philanthropy or a liaison with a philanthropy. You may actually serve in your spiritual group. What I don't know, different roles that we actually may play in the world around us. And then, if we're honest, there's other roles that we play in interactions with others. Maybe we play the creative muse. We play the contrarian, the one who's going to bring a challenge to the ideas. Occasionally, we might fall into the role of feeling like we're playing victim to a lot of changes that are piling up at us in any given moment. It happens. It's human. If you take stock of the various different roles that you're playing on any given week or month, it can be pretty amazing to think about all these different roles and how we perceive the world from the vantage point of those roles. Because within each role is an identity, and it's a way of looking at the challenges at hand, and it has a philosophy behind it and a track record of success perhaps, and maybe a network of individuals and constellation of people that we rely on within each role. And it can become habitual, and over time, while these roles are beautiful, especially if we've built some success and fulfillment in our lives, they can also be limiting. And when we're challenged with something that we want to live or lead differently in our lives, not only do we need to look at the actions that we need to take, but maybe the roles that we are playing now when we perceive and take action on that challenge, and what roles it may be time to release. Now you might think, well, some of those roles I don't want to give up, right? Like, for example, I love being a mom. That's a definite part of my identity, and I love what I can do to inspire my girls' growth in this world. So I'm not going to give that up. By nature, I'll always be their mom. And what I can release, though, however, is the way that I have oriented my parenting all these years. So as my daughter's going off to college and the younger one's stepping into her senior year, I can realize that the role that I've been playing for many years is a little bit more mama bear, kind of protective. And maybe that part has to be released and has to die, has to be subtracted or let go of, so that a new kind of identity within that role can be born. So maybe it's not mama bear, maybe it's sort of mama bird that gets to fly at a higher level, watches her own little kind of eaglets fly, and brings a different kind of inspirational leadership to that relationship. That changes the tone, the frequency, quality of the communication together, and it leaves space for mama bird to be able to fly in new ways into other challenges or invitations of, work opportunities, friendships, other personal relationships, right? I'm using a personal example because at times of major transition in our families, that's probably one of the more frequently reflected upon shifts in identity and roles. And yet that opportunity exists before us at any given time whenever we're faced with a challenge. So a quick little activity that you may want to try on for size is identify one of the challenges that you're facing in life or leadership right now where you feel stuck and you feel like something needs to change here. I can't continue on the way that it is because we're not getting to the breakthrough level of results, or how I'm showing up is not feeling completely congruent. I like to do this activity outside when I'm in nature. I learned this practice actually from the Kyoto people of the high Andes, and there's a deep connection with the earth, Pachamama, right, as it were. And so you can go on a walk in a park or in your backyard and actually, pick up some stones or something that could form basically a circle on the grass, and sit down and have just maybe 10-15 minutes for your own reflection. I'll create like a little circle of stones and really think this circle is the container of all that I'm challenged with right now in what I'm trying to get to breakthrough around. And then I'll make a list on my phone or a piece of paper on all the different roles that I play with regards to that challenge. And it's not just the obvious. There's the obvious ones where there's a title associated with it, or you're playing a certain role within the team, or you have a subject matter expertise. Okay, great, write those down. But maybe you're also playing the role of carrying the legacy information forward, or maybe you're you're playing the role of the mentor, or you're playing the role of breakthrough ideation, and you create little, I don't know, whatever you're doing to stimulate thought in that team or in that challenge. Write down all those different roles, and then find something that represent each one of those roles. Like it could be a twig, a flower, a branch, and burnable objects essentially, and place them in the circle in a way that is meaningful to you for how you're showing up with all these roles. That's step number one, because then you start to see how all these roles are either interacting together, or where there's no space for a particular role that you bring, or where one role dominates the other roles. Just take a look at that first and foremost and see if there's an insight that it can give you as to the different roles that you're playing. And then the next step is to actually, one by one, take each one of these roles and consider, what if I let this one go the way that it's constructed? What might be possible then? I'll kind of put it off to the side outside of the circle, jot down any notes or thoughts that come to mind. If I let go of this role, what would that mean? Now, if you're Senior Vice President of Sales, you're not going to let go of that role for the sales team. But what about that role could you release or recalibrate to allow a new expression of that role to come forward? So one by one, you're doing this. And then what are you left with inside that circle? Nothingness. That's full of possibilities. In Japan, that was called mu, M-U. The nothingness, that is the emptiness that is full of possibilities. And I would argue that's actually where your real genius lies. It lies in perhaps letting go of certain aspects of roles, but it also lies in something outside of your roles. That's really like kind of where the soulful essence of you and your leadership lies. So from that place, what's possible then? What was not being honored in all these different roles? Is there some aspect of your passion, your creativity, your energy that wasn't maybe given full expression? What do you discover there? And then intentionally think about which roles deserve to kind of go back into this challenge at hand, but maybe in a new way. Capture your notes, and then whatever's left over on the side, guess what? These get to be transmuted to be freeing up new energy. So I'll literally have like a candle at hand, or when I get back, if I've gone on a walk, I'll actually create like a little ceremony in the backyard. And it's just symbolic of releasing the old to allow the new to be born. I hope that's helpful to you as you think about really letting go, releasing, and subtracting in order to allow new things to be born.
Hi, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I'd like to invite you to join the Limitless Actualization community. It's free to join, and when you do, you'll have access to even more exclusive content just like this on other leadership topics, all designed to help you actually transform uncertainty into greater energy and focus, clarity, and expanded meaning and impact. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon in the Limitless Actualization community.